we're gonna get into this. I haven't spoken publicly since I guess the week before August 1st, or what is that, the 24th or something like that. This is the first time that I've had an opportunity to speak. I did post something that I put on. Baby, mute your computer because you got an echo. Or turn it down. I had some conversations that I posted, but pretty much I've been silenced up until now. And so I'm gonna give you a little bit, not a sermon, but just what happened to me, and what's happening now with Free Life, and where we're going from here. One of the things I want to say before I get started is that I'm proud of you guys so much. From my wife, she's grown. It's almost like she was forced to grow, because when I went on this sabbatical, the Lord told me I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't attend any Free Life meetings. I couldn't speak, nothing. Like, you can't sing, you can't do anything. And I'm just like, man. And I see my wife just working and doing everything, and I'm just sitting there. All of you stepped up in this time, and God showed me something about Free Life that I never knew. One of the things that happened is that, during our last event, the Work for Worshipers Only, all of you prayed, all of you sang, all of you participated. If you're in the Atlanta area, you know what I'm talking about. It was the first time that I was at a Free Life event, or any event for that matter, that I put on that I could not participate in. And so I'm sitting in the back. My job literally was to hold the rein. God told me, your job is, the only job that you have is to hold the rein. And I remember that it kept drizzling, and we were putting, plastic over. I say, man, the Lord told me it's not gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. Let's just go with it. I'm willing to lose this equipment before I don't trust him. I just want to trust him. And so we went through that. And when I sat back and watched the event, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that this thing was so huge. I didn't know that you guys were that so anointed, because most of the times when y'all are singing, rapping, or praying, I'm fussing at somebody, telling get the mic slider or turn the light. I said make the lights blue, make the lights blue. I've been freaking out for 5 straight years, and I've never went back and saw what the Lord had did. Sometimes when you're so close to a building, you never know how big it is. You got to go back to see how huge it is. And so during the service, I was supposed to be in the back. He said, stay away from it, because if I'm close to it, I'll be tempted to try to start getting involved. He told me to stay back, and tears came to my eyes because of how all of you have grown. All of you, your talents. I didn't even know. I've been, every time you guys perform, I'm up there and really halfway paying attention, because I'm worried about what's coming next. My rule is, what's coming next, and I'm up there and I'm jumping around, and I'm having fun, but I'm still thinking in my mind, what's coming next. So you're not necessarily taking it in. And for the first time, I was able to take it in, and I was blown away. My wife told me later on all the problems that she had to fight, Riri, who set up this whole thing, and Dom, they Riri goes into labor the day of the event, and I just thought it was so funny, and I couldn't do anything. It's like, they looking at me, I'm like, bro, I can't do nothing. Like, I was told not to do anything. And so, my wife told me about all the things she had to fight through, and I could not tell that you guys had one problem. And I'm the dude that could tell. I was like, I know y'all was You didn't know your lyrics, you didn't know your verse. I know that this happened, I know that this person was, I couldn't tell. And I was blown away when the Lord showed me what he built in Free Life and not what I built in Free Life. And when I stood back, I was like, oh my God. Some of y'all I saw for the first time perform because I'm usually on stage next to you, barking at you, stand in the middle, go side to side. And I just never, and so I want to say I'm so proud of Free Life, what you are. From where I saw you, there's nothing like you guys in the world, on planet, matter of fact, in the galaxy. And so I want to say that, and I'm proud to be affiliated with such awesome people. All right. Let me go into what I want to talk about, and I shared this a little bit with my brother when I went to visit my brother this week. Faith and fear. On August 1st, which was the day I was supposed to preach about I think the topic was, why is it so easy to leave you before sex or after sex? And I was going to jump into that. Me and my wife was going to talk about relationships and stuff like that. But the Lord had given me a word, and I was like, I'll do that later. And I didn't do it. And so, not necessarily he did it for this, but I had this encounter where I felt like I was unplugged for the world. I felt weightless. I felt light. It felt good, but I felt a little anxiety, like what is happening to me? I couldn't sleep, and I was thirsty, and I was just drinking so much water. And so the Lord told me, don't do any more meetings. I canceled church that day. Don't do church. I just want you to be in my presence, and I want to talk to you about where I'm calling you. Also, in this time, my fears started manifesting, like not necessarily that things were happening, but they started coming back to my mind. I'm just getting confidence in wearing no hats. If you look at most of my pictures from the past, I always got a covering over my head. All my album covers, I got a covering, because when I was little, it's simple. Just like everybody else, everybody was teased about being big head or nappy head. And I was called nappy head by family members. And I was like, well, since I'm nappy headed, let me wear hats. And so all the way from fear, from not liking cheese to fear of this and fear of, I talked to Pastor Kaiser about one of the fears that I had, that my dad, when I was in a singing group with my dad, they used to make me go out there and talk. And I was, 7, 8 years old, having to talk to the people and just super scared. And they'd be back there fiddling around on their instruments. And so that's why right now, when I come out, I pray to 300. I feel like I don't want any silence. I gotta pray because of that fear. He was like, man, I never noticed. I did notice when we started out that you had some anxiety, a look of anxiety on your face, but I didn't know that it was a fear. I was like, yeah, it was a freaking out that the music wouldn't play or something like that. So this fear, all of these little bitty fears attached itself to me. But what it is when it's a little bit of fear here and there, then it starts to impede the purpose. It starts to stop the purpose of God for my life. And so all of these things that I've been through, and then let alone being robbed a couple times and being disappointed, and people leave you and people pass away on you. All of these fears are, start to accumulate, and you start to wonder and even question your own purpose. And now a lot of people can see it, but you can't see it. And so I want to kind of go through this process that I had to go through. GCS, when y'all was emptying out the church, and I was saying this, when y'all was emptying out the church, I came up. You and I think Riri was still in the building. I came up to get the truck, and when I was sitting in the car, bruh, it felt like Mona was sleeping for some reason or something. She was tired. But it felt like I was sitting in the car and I just felt this anxiety. And I was like, what is happening to me? You know, and it's like, and the Lord gave me the scripture, for God is not giving me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound mind. For God is not giving me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound mind. For God is not, he said, that fear that you feel, that's not from me. That's not from me. You're having your garden experience. Jesus in the garden had to overcome a fear. Now, I talked about this too. 30 years on earth, you here, you the son of God. Everybody know who you are. You know, they making fun because your mama had you, and you know, they saying that Joseph ain't the daddy. Well, who the daddy? And everybody might just talk about the experience of Jesus and how he got here. And finally, he 30 years old and hadn't done anything to prove that he's the son of God. So there's this question in his mind that, man, come on, man, all of this proof and everybody saying certain things and y'all believe it, but I need to see something. Then the Bible says after he was, after John the Baptist baptized him, the Spirit, capital S, which is God, the Spirit leads him into the wilderness. When he is in the wilderness, he starts to fight Satan, which is really a thought that opposes God. Anything that opposes God is satanic. You want to find something that's satanic? Find the will of God and look at the opposite of it. That's Satan. All right? How do you know that? Well, and I'm going to go back to the garden. When Peter, Jesus, they was all together, and Peter said, who do men say that I am? He was like, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus says, flesh and blood is not talking to you, bro. That's God. Like flesh and God is revealing to you who I am. Then Jesus says, all right, man, I'm getting ready to get killed, bro. They're getting ready to come for me. And Peter says, now, that was the will of God that Jesus was talking about. Peter said, we're not going to let that happen. Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Why? Because Peter presented a thought that opposes the will of God. So anytime somebody opposes a thought that goes against the will of God, that's satanic. Say satanic. Y'all, we looking for horns, a fork. We're looking for all this demonic stuff, and it's no. The simple thing is this: if it opposes the will of God, it's satanic. What is satanic? You sleeping around with another girl that's not your wife. Satanic. All right? If God telling you to do it and you don't do it, satanic. It's the subtlety of the matter. That's why they describe the serpent to be subtle, because we're looking for something that's bold, and the satanic moves are subtle, are small, are little. They're trying to blend in. So what it is when Jesus was in the garden, he is fighting Satan with the word. And the thing that Satan kept saying, if you are the son of God, if you are the son of God, if you are the son of God, if you are the son of God. And Jesus had to fight back with the word. I wish he could swing on it, but he couldn't. I wish he could else he had to fight with. And so the only way that you're going to fight this demon of the coronavirus, this demon of racial oppression, this demon of whatever you're going through, shortage in your family, the only way you're going to fight it is with the word. But I have not given the fear that you have. I didn't give it to you. I gave you power. I gave you love, and I gave you a sound mind. Right now, I don't care what you're doing. You need to say out loud, I have a sound mind. I have a sound mind. I have a sound mind. Keep saying it. I have a sound mind. Because what's happening is the attack on your mind. Now, so Jesus completes this, and then he starts his ministry. Then he starts preaching. Then he starts the healing. But if you are in a place, in a battle with fear, then something is closer. Your breakthrough is close. Your breakthrough is close. Your breakthrough is close. If you are in a battle of fear, you're having your garden moment. Hallelujah. And if you have an anxiety attacks, then you need to start fighting with the word. But the enemy is not gonna come to Jesus like that, or God is not gonna put Jesus in that place if it wasn't time for him to do his thing. So there has to be, everybody goes through certain things that we need to battle. We need to battle fear. We need to battle fear. We need to battle fear. One of the biggest bouts, man, I ate macaroni and cheese for the first time in 30-some years. It was cool. I mean, I just wanted to know why I ain't like it so much. And I just started to challenge my fears. I was telling bro, hey man, you got on a tight shirt today though, bro. Yeah, bro, I'm dealing with a fear. I had a video shoot yesterday, and I showed up on time. Glory be to God. Because the fear used to be that I would be sitting there looking stupid while everybody is late. I'm early, so I need to be fashionably late to make my swag be on 100. So I used to come late on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I used to be, I remember I missed a flight because I was there early, but I felt stupid by being there early. I left the doggone airport and then came back, missed the flight. Stupid. But what I'm saying is, because of the fear of how people would see me, I felt like I needed to come in fashionably late. You know what I'm saying? But let y'all start and get everything ready. So I dealt with that fear. I got there at 7 o'clock on the dot. The cameraman was shocked, like, man, you usually at least an hour late. I said, man, I'm changing. I'm working on my fears. I'm canceling my fears. But God has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Also, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, but that part is powerless without this part. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and any tongue that has risen up against me in judgment, I have to condemn. Not God. I have to condemn it. I have to rip it down.